Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have the latest on Storm Bert, which is going to be arriving through Saturday into Sunday. Now of course we've had a very cold and wintry week for many, and it is going to continue to stay cold over the next 36 hours or so, with still some snow, ice and frost in most areas. And then we do see Storm Bert arriving, bringing an area of snow initially in the north, rain further southwards, and some exceptionally strong winds. We do have widespread yellow warnings for wind, rain and snow, and we do even have an amber warning now issued for snow over some of the higher ground of Scotland. We'll look at that in detail on the latest UKV, running through all the relevant charts, the wind gusts, the precipitation and the temperatures. And then we'll finish up in the second half of the video by having a look at the longer range, because of course after Storm Bert clears through Sunday, we're back to more average late autumnal conditions with a westerly flow, temperatures into the double digits, for we could start to see signs of blocking returning as we head into early December. So yeah, definitely looks like it's going to go mild and more unsettled to end November, but could the cold and snow return as we do head into the official start of meteorological winter? So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Now if you start on the live radar, you can see there is a lot of activity going on tonight. Recording this around 7:30, and you can see we have got quite a few areas of instability with some heavy showers, snow showers piling in for many northern areas. Now earlier today we did see some persistent snow in the far southwest, and it did give a covering for quite a few, especially over higher ground, but even to low-lying areas saw a dusting. Of course, the precipitation wasn't too heavy. The majority of the heavy snow went into northern France, and we'll look at the past 24-hour accumulations in a minute, and you'll be able to see that many areas have seen up to a foot of snow. So that is pretty extreme. What could have been if this low was 100 or 200 miles further northwards, but where it went just gave light coverings further southwards and westwards, with the dumping across the near continent. We did see lots of heavy snow across the Republic of Ireland though last night, as the heavier snow did track through there, especially saw images towards sort of western Republic of Ireland, towards I think it was Castlebar. I saw some videos where we did see again multiple inches of snow. Again, it's a little bit more difficult for the Republic of Ireland with the wind coming in off the North Atlantic. It of course always potentially brings a slight undercutting of milder air, but saw perfect conditions in those areas, and we did see significant snow. Elsewhere, especially for northern areas, we are seeing heavy snow showers piling in. I would ignore the precipitation types. Most of this precipitation is falling as snow. Again, the radar does its best to estimate it, and it is generally right, but sometimes it can be a little bit off. All of this, though, is falling as snow because of the exceptionally cold air mass. You can see for Northern Ireland, lots of these heavy showers packing in. The same for Northern Scotland. We must remember, though, they are convection-based. If you're looking at this and you are 50 miles further south of these showers, do not expect to be these showers to be this intense and this size if they get close to you, and that is because they lose all their intensity as they drift inland, because they are purely convection based. Now it doesn't apply to some of these showers across northern Wales and northwest England. You see, these are actually travelling further inland, and this is because this is associated with a small area of instability which is allowing these showers to hold on a little bit more. Now they will fade as they clear inland, but the current track shows them travelling through the West Midlands, potentially even getting out towards London through the early hours of Friday morning. So if you are in this stretch, don't be surprised in the coming hours to maybe see a couple heavy snow showers, maybe even a light dusting of a centimetre or two in some areas, certainly in the northwest here where these showers are pretty beefy, but even further south and eastwards, I wouldn't be surprised of a few showers. So yes, the main snow that we saw earlier in the week has cleared, but still lots of areas of interest around, and they'll continue to be wintry over the next 48 hours before Storm Bert clears that all away. Temperatures widely below freezing. You can see towards coastal regions it is of course slightly milder because of sea breezes dragging in slightly warmer temperatures from the milder sea surfaces. You can see though much of Northern Europe is very, very cold and will continue to be well below freezing for the foreseeable future. Now, if you look at the past 24-hour snowfall, you can see where we have seen intense snowfall over the past sort of 24 hours. You can see heavy snow towards Paris along this line, seeing 20 centimetres of so significant accumulations, and has caused quite a few issues there. Again, significant accumulations where I said towards Castlebar and Westport. Lots of significant snow here. Once again, difficult to say exactly how much of this settled and stuck around, especially towards these coastal regions, and that's just because of those milder sea breezes. You can see right on the coast, not too much, but as soon as you come a little bit inland, significant snow, and for much of the Rub of Ireland as well, heavy snow. And then you can see across southern parts of England here, we did see a few bits of snow. Again, some areas even showing accumulations getting up towards a few centimetres, again, mainly over higher ground, with flurries lower lying areas, and then the typical showers packing in from the north. And you see we've got lots of heavy snow continuing across northern Scotland, but look how quickly it drops off. 20-30 centimetres in these northern regions. You go 50 miles further southwards and eastwards, nothing, and that is because they do fade away significantly as they do move inland. Now, if we go over to the weather warnings now, if we start on the latest weather warnings we've got at the moment, if we go north to south, we've got the snow and ice warning that expires on Friday at midday, again, for all those heavy showers. Again, we'll skim through some of these warnings. We'll get to the beefier warnings with storm birds, as these are more generic snow shower warnings. Again, we're looking at a few centimetres widely, maybe up to 10 centimetres in places, 15 to 20 over higher ground. Got this widespread yellow snow and ice warning issued for much of the Midlands into northern Wales, northern England, and up towards the whole of Scotland. And again, it's just for generic wintry showers from midday today until 10 a.m. through Friday morning. Again, looking at potentially 2 to 5 centimetres is possible, most likely above 100 metres, but even below that would likely see falling snow at least, because those temperatures are well below freezing. And I said they could drift further inland, further southwards and eastwards, but at the moment, not expecting anything too major. But given the looks of the live radar, we could be surprised. Snow and ice warning issued for Northern Ireland, the whole of Northern Ireland here, until 10 a.m. tomorrow as well, for those heavy showers. Again, above 150 metres most likely, but 2 to 5 centimetres across lots of areas where we see these showers, and maybe 10 centimetres over higher ground, over the mountain tops. And then you can see an ice warning issued for the far south of England. Not expecting any new fresh snow, but where we've seen snow earlier today, which has melted a little bit during the day, it will refreeze rapidly tonight, and that could cause issues into the morning. But again, it does say there's potential for a centimetre or two from some isolated showers, but we're really not expecting much. Now, if you move into Friday, we still have all those weather warnings still in force. Nothing new comes into force through tomorrow, so by tomorrow evening, because a brief area of high pressure moves in, we're not actually expecting much precipitation. So there will be a lull through tomorrow afternoon. We're expecting very little precipitation at all, or at least nothing that could cause any issues. But Saturday, look at this, a whole host of new warnings comes into force, and we'll start south to north in this case. We've got these rain warnings issued for much of southwest England and parts of Wales from 6 a.m. on Saturday until 11:45 on Sunday for heavy rain associated with Storm Bert. You can see 50 to 75 millimetres of rain quite widely, 100 to 150 millimetres over Dartmoor, and again some very heavy rain accompanied by very strong winds. These sort of precipitation amounts, this would amount to half a metre to a metre of snow if the cold air did remain, but of course with the power of this low pressure system, that cold air is getting swept away quite rapidly. If we look at the warning for Wales, 100 to 125 millimetres and 50 to 75 quite widely. And again, looking like it's going to come slow moving and persist through much of the day. And it is a similar time frame, but it expires much earlier on Sunday, 6 a.m. on Saturday until 6 a.m. on Sunday. Now, if you move further northwards, we've got a whole array of overlapping warnings, a little bit confusing this, but you can see a rain and snow warning issued for Northern Ireland because it's going to start as snow and then turn to rain from midnight on Saturday until 11 a.m. on Saturday there. 5 to 10 centimetres temporarily, maybe 10 to 20 centimetres over the mountain's tops before it turns back to rain, and then we could see another inch or two of rainfall. It has a high likelihood and low impact. We've got a rain and snow warning issued for much of North England, the Midlands, up all the way through Scotland. And again, we're looking at heavy snow followed by a rapid thaw. Again, maybe 5 to 10 centimetres even to low-lying areas. And then we again see that clearing away with potentially another sort of inch or two of rain, and there could be significant accumulations, a massive amount of accumulations, 20 to 40 centimetres above 300 metres, because of course the freezing level will slowly move higher and higher, so it means snow will fall for quite a long time over those higher grounds before it eventually will all clear. And then we've got these widespread wind warnings, as we are looking at 50 to 60 miles per hour quite widely, 60 to 70 in some coastal regions, and maybe even 70 miles per hour, or in excess of 70 miles per hour from some exposed regions. And you see that warning transitions all the way through to Northern Ireland. And then you can see we've got this amber warning for snow and ice only from 7 a.m. until 5 p.m. So only a 10-hour warning. And you can see 10 to 20 centimetres quite widely, 20 to 40 centimetres above 400 metres. It eventually will turn back to rain, but that amount of precipitation, at least initially as snow, could cause some huge disruption through Saturday, and as it thaws, then we could see potentially even flooding. Now, fortunately, it's quite a rural part of Scotland, but if you are here, then there is the risk of significant disruption as the system does move in. Now, if we do move into Sunday, you can see we've just got a legacy of those warnings, so no new issued warnings there as we head into the second half of the weekend. And we're not expecting anything too much next week, as it does look like it will be unsettled, but a much more tame than with Storm Bert. Now, if you look at the latest UKV, you can see lots of snow showers around tonight, potentially those showers across the Midlands, clearing quite far inland into the morning, before degrading away slowly through tomorrow as we see an area of high pressure building in. So by tomorrow evening, it'll be a bit cloudier. Temperatures will still be very cold, but it will be slowly turning milder as we see the big weather fronts associated with Storm Bert arriving. Significant snow over some of the higher ground as this system does move in. And you can see eventually it will turn to rain for all during the afternoon and evening. And then we just see more heavy bouts of rain persisting through much of Saturday and even through much of Sunday in the southeast before clearing. And then for Monday and Tuesday, still unsettled, but nowhere near as disruptive. You can see the massive shift in air masses, very cold, exceptionally cold at the moment for the time of year. And then slowly that massive warmer sector moves in, and we almost see a 15 to maybe as high as 20 degree temperature shift as we do turn much, much milder. And then return to kind of oscillating around average into next week. If you look at the wind gusts, you can see as Storm Bert arrives, we could see widely 50 to 70 mile per hour, maybe up to 80 or 90. So although we're focusing on the rain and the snow for the warnings, we do have wind warnings as we just looked at, but wind will be an issue. It's just the fact that this storm is coming with 3 major effects: snow, rain and wind. Normally these sort of storms come with maybe 1 or maximum 2, but we're seeing 3 major impacts here: rain and snow and potentially ice, and then wind as well. So this is why this system could be very dangerous, because even if you don't see snow, you'll see the very heavy rain and stronger winds, and those areas that see heavy snow will also see blizzard conditions with that stronger gusts and general winds around. Those winds do die out through the evening, but could stay reasonably strong all the way through to Sunday, 40, 50 miles per hour, and could see some further stronger winds into Monday, but again, it is turning more tame. If you look at the max temperatures, you can see overnight tonight widely below freezing, once again very cold, and then into Friday afternoon again max temperatures we're looking at kind of 5 or 6 degrees and freezing further northwards. Into Saturday, most wake up to a frost, but by the afternoon we're mostly into positive temperatures apart from northern Scotland, and then by the evening eventually all are into positive temperature, and by Sunday afternoon could even reach 15 or 16 degrees before it does turn back towards average by Monday, back towards the high single digits or low double digits for Monday and Tuesday. Now, if you look at the longer range, as I said, it is looking much milder as we do head into next week. Again, nothing ridiculous, but just back towards average, for it does start to turn potentially much colder, or at least more blocked, in towards December. Now, if you watch the trends over the coming days, big system with Storm Bert moving through, and you can generally see kind of oscillating between high pressure, low pressure over the coming days. But watch what happens around day 10. This big area of high pressure gets going towards Greenland. Now, it tries to pull in northerly winds here, and it does have a go at pushing easterly winds here into early December. But because of the position of the block, it's not too successful. But it's a very interesting pattern that keeps recurring and keeps strengthening. So we need to keep a very close eye on this, because if this does come off, then we could tap in to some of this very cold air just to our northeast. You can see the GFS is trying to tap into it here, and it could be potentially disruptive if that did happen. But for the time being, it's just hinting at it. No major overwhelming signal. Interestingly, the GM actually does a very similar thing. Storm Bert clears through this weekend, and then into next week, that high pressure really gets going towards Greenland, and again, it starts to try and push in northerly winds, with the jet stream pushing southwards. Again, we can't say exactly what will happen, but there is a flood of very cold northerly winds trying to push our way. Yes, the jet stream is continuing to pry in off the Atlantic, but if that jet stream can shift slightly further southwards, that blocking can strengthen, then I wouldn't be surprised if we did go cold or very cold in the subsequent days. ECMWF actually is very similar as well. Again, that low clears, high pressure builds up towards Greenland, and again, towards day 10, we've got that block there towards Greenland. Instead, though, high pressure is over the top of us, trying to retrogress and potentially, again, trying to push in these cold northerly winds in from the Arctic. So again, it'll be very interesting. Watch this. From yesterday, where all three ones were completely different, today they've got different outcomes, but their overall trend is very similar. It is the first signs of potentially something cold and blocks, but I will stress the first signs, no real concrete information here, but a definitive signal from the runs that a block could develop once again towards Greenland. And of course, with colder air available, as this will be early December, then it could be as cold, if not colder, than we've got now. And of course, it could maintain itself a little bit stronger as well. We'll have to wait and see. But for the time being, though, sort of medium range definitely looks like it'll go back towards average. And you can see that emphasised here on the ensembles. Going back well above average through the weekend, and then dropping back towards average for the coming couple of weeks into early December, where the risk of something colder appears, but nothing too crazy at this stage. And if we do compare it to the ECMWF ensembles, it's broadly very similar. Back well above average by Saturday, and then trending, hovering above and below through the coming couple of weeks. So you can see, as we get beyond this weekend, get beyond the disruptive conditions this weekend, things do settle down and will be much more back to sort of usual, back to autumnal conditions. But we've still got a lot of severe weather to get through over the next couple of days. Still lots of snow around in places tonight, lots of frost, icy conditions, a bit of a lull through Friday afternoon for huge impacts come back on Saturday with Storm Bert. Amber warnings issued for snow, widespread yellow warnings issued for snow, rain and for wind. So please do stay safe out there. And if you have got any plans for Saturday, to bear in mind the time of those plans, because morning could be affected by snow, afternoon wind and rain. And of course, do consider where you are, because those northern regions more likely to be snow, southern regions are more likely to be rain. And of course, if you can delay your plans to Sunday, maybe do think of doing that, as it will be disruptive. There will be sort of road closures, things like that. That's inevitable with this sort of system. So please do stay safe out there over the coming days. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.